All right, everybody, now can you hear me?
All right, everybody,
Okay.
now can you hear me?
I rebooted my computer and used a different visual program, which is why you couldn't hear me at first, but hello. I'm turning down my phone. I can see chat messages now. I'm all hooked up and ready to go, as you can see. This is Marcy Bessaker with Marcy Bessaker Designs. I am an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! And I am going live on YouTube Tuesdays and Sundays, Tuesdays at 2 o'clock, Sundays at noon. As you can see, we are doing a Christmas theme today. I'm pretty excited about it. I need to get us started over here and share the link. So give me just a second here so I can get the right link up and shared. Hi Sharon, how are you? I'm just making sure I have the right link to share and get it posted over on my page. I'm pretty excited about today's class. I had a lot of different things, a lot of different ideas of what I wanted to do. And then I decided, you know, I really would like to do a Christmas card. Our Christmas catalog is going to be coming out really soon. And it is going to be obviously an amazing catalog. They always are. And then I thought, well, everybody's going to be jumping right into that. And I don't want this card to be overlooked because it is super, super cute. So let me just save this here. Doing all the technical things ahead of time here. Some of them you just can't do until you get in there. So here we go. All right. Thanks for joining me. So today, funny story, we had somebody come and look at a big, huge tree in our backyard. It's like a big redwood tree. And we were going to have them thin it out, kind of clean it. And we said, you know, the guy was like, well, somebody really butchered it before, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, if you aren't opposed to taking the tree down, I would take it down. And we were like, that's fine. It's right next to our pool. We don't want to have any issues with it. We just moved here in November. So we're like, fine, take it out. When are we going to do it? He said, oh, probably like 3 weeks out unless we get a cancellation. Guess when the cancellation is? Right now. So they're coming through the side gate right here through my window. And they're grinding and tearing everything down. Hi, Steph. In the back corner, I can feel it and hear it. My dog is over here laying down, and I'm afraid he's going to go crazy when he figures out what's going on. So that's what's happening. So if we hear some weird noises, yeah, Steph, they were like, oh, we can get you in today. And we're like, oh, I told my husband, great, right in the middle of the video. But that's all right. We are going to have a good time. Sharon, where are you from? I like to find out where people are from. And so what I did is I went through and I had quite a few things I wanted to do. One of them I kind of started, and I was thinking of doing this card, but I kind of want to perfect it a little bit better, is this. And it's that scenery one. I don't even know. Sending Sunshine, I think it's called. Yes, Sending Sunshine. And, oh, very nice. And so I thought about doing this one. I liked it on the pearl, the shimmery paper. And so I've been kind of practicing and playing, and you should see how many different colors I've been playing with. So anyway, I was going to do that. But then I saw this one in the catalog, you guys, and I just don't want this card overlooked because it's just so cute. And I know the new Christmas catalog is going to be coming. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this one because then I'll have a few made for Christmas cards before the next catalog comes, because I think this is such a cute card. So this is the one we're going to be making today. And I do have some tips. Thank you, Sharon. I do have some tips on this. Now you'll notice it has a dome on it. Let's see. There's a dome, plastic dome, and then the images are layered up inside. So I have some little tricks about some different things that are in there. I also added some dazzling diamonds inside just to kind of give it a little more sparkle, even though I did it on shimmer paper. You probably can't see it on the camera as much, but the shimmer paper I think really makes a difference. And there's even a couple things I'm gonna to make some changes on this one. Not a lot, because I really kind of like the way it is in the catalog, but I did just do a few things. So we're gonna get started. So I'm just gonna set that aside somewhere safe, and let's get going. So I have a little fan on right here to block the noise from outside. If it bothers you guys, let me know. But I have it on so my DOG doesn't hear what's going on outside, because he'll kind of go crazy. All right, so I'm going to start with the thicker card base. So it is the Whisper White thick card base, and I did the hamburger fold is what they call it, which is the 8.5 by 5.5, yes, and then just scored in half. I did already stamp my image, but let me look at something really quick. I tried to emboss it and I didn't like it because I am using my blends, and it just kind of, I embossed with black, and maybe if I would have done clear over the black maybe, but I just decided it turned out fine without. So the stamp sets we're going to use, let me just tell you that first, is the Still Scenes, which is, I love this little cabin. And then we have this as a stamp, but we're going to be using the dies, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then we have this. So if you wanted to do it flat and you didn't want to use the globes shaker domes are right here. And you guys, these, I hope that noise is not bothering you guys. So these are the domes, and what I like is there's adhesive here and adhesive on the back. Now this one's been cut already, and I'll show you why. Because of the way we're doing this card. Normally you just cut the image in the paper and adhere this from underneath when you do a shaker card, but not this one. And actually you probably could, and I think we're going to. I'm going to try something different, I think, now that it's just come to me. But I'll show you how I did it, and then I'll show you what I'm thinking we could do. So we'll put those aside for right now. The other thing I used is the snow globe scene. Okay, so I did the snow globe scene, and this is what I used for the base. You're going to use these dies. You're going to use this die here for the image of the cabin. You're going to use these two dies also. Okay, so let's get started and start cutting, and then I'll let you know what else we're using, because I do have a few tricks up my sleeve. Oh, that's good, Stephanie, because it's kind of loud. It's like they started all the equipment here, but it sounds like they're moving it back now. Okay, so I stamped the image already. I have also stamped my circle image, and so what I did is I did the stitching, and then I also did a circle for the back. So I'm going to build up on top of here, except I just realized I need that out of shimmer paper, and I'll show you why in just a bit. But let me get a piece of shimmer paper. I can hear them out there talking, and my DOG is looking up like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? All right, let me cut this out really quick. All right, so here's the circle, so I'm going to leave that one. Okay, so I've got this stamped, I've got the background, and I have this, and I'm going to try something a little different than what I did, and I'll tell you that as we go. So first of all, I think what we should do is we're going to stamp our trees. Oops, that's shimmer. We don't want shimmer, we want white. And the thing about the shimmer paper is you want to make sure that the ink dries because it can be a little slippery. So I'm going to take the trees and I'm going to cut them out here with just the, you know what, I'm going to do shimmer anyway. Oh, it's getting louder, you guys. They're supposed to be moving to the other side. I'm hoping they're not going to be standing over here and bringing everything over to grind up over here. But that's possible. So if it gets too loud, let me know and I'll just talk louder. We'll work through it. Okay, so there's our trees and now our house. All right. So what I did, a secret to this is you're going to take the trees, and I took this snow front. And what I did with this is I took the little trees out. Oh, I already took them out right here. And I took the large one, the medium, and a small one. So just get them here. And I think I might have even used this one twice. I used this on the inside. So while I have this out, we will do that on the inside while we have the trees out. I want to make sure I'm in picture here too for you guys. I feel like I'm jumping all over. Sorry, I'm a little distracted with hoping you can hear okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the inside of the card while I have the trees out. So I'm just going to stamp off and do a little tree. And this is why I pulled 3 out, but you're only going to need 2. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and put that with this and set it aside. But on here, we're going to take the tree. And what I did is I took a Post-it note and I'm just going to put it across the bottom right here. And we're going to stamp the larger tree right on top. Now this is going to be in the background of your little image, so you really don't have to worry about that it's not going to, you know, it's not filling it up. It's okay. It's just adding some, and you really kind of should go towards the top. I'm going to do this one again. You are not going to see it, you guys. Oops. You are not going to see it because it's going to be way in the back, but you see little pieces of it. So what I'm going to do is just use the bottom part of the big tree. There we go. And that fills it in a little bit better. Okay, but you can see it's a little bit wet, so I'm just going to lay this over and kind of pick it up. And that's because it's on that shimmer paper. So I'm going to set that aside for now. If you're here, please say hi. I'd love to hear from you. I'm trying, oh, here it is. All right. I'm just adding some water here to my all right, so I'm going to, I forgot to add water to my chamois and get it wet, so we're just going old school with baby wipes here just to clean up for now. I'll clean these later. All right. Oh, Canada, nice, Mandy. I went to Canada last, I want to say, no, a year ago, last September, August, something like that. It was beautiful. We weren't there very long. We were on a cruise, so most everything was closed down in the town we were there, but we have a lot of family in Newfoundland. Okay, so now that's done. We're going to take this and color our little cabin and get him cut out. So what I did is I took the light pull play. The dark I thought was too dark, okay? And then what I did, if you look in the catalog, on page 59, I was kind of doing what they did here, a little bit of what they did, of what I can see. You can't really see in the background, but I did enough to where I can kind of see what's going on. And so what I did is I took the light pull party and just kind of did the big front of the house, side of the house. So here's the front around the windows. Now the dark was too dark. The light I thought was a little too light, so I will go over it again once I'm done coloring everything. So I'm just going to fill this in. Okay, so that's it for this color. The darker color, I'm going to do the front door. And this is really easy to color, you guys, because a lot of it is just snow. And I did the chimney. Okay, and then I did the branches. And I think I switched to this one here. To do the finer point here. And just lightly, don't push too hard. You don't want it to really be absorbed, you know, and make a puddle or anything. It shouldn't, but if you leave it on paper too long, you know how sometimes it can bleed a little bit. So I just wanted to brown up some of the leaves because a lot of it's going to be snow and you're not going to see it anyway. There's a leaf over here, a little branch. Okay, and then I took crumb cake and I just kind of went around a little bit where the snow is, like where there's some rocks, the walkway a little, just a little, because you know how snow gets dirty. It just looks a little more realistic. And that's about all I did there. And then I'm going to go back in with the pool party and just do another little layer. It just makes it a little more vibrant, because remember, it's going to be inside the globe. So it's not going to be super bright by doing another layer. And I'm going to do this layer here too, this siding, because it matches that siding. And this color is so pretty, the browns and the pool party. Okay, so there's that. And now I took the light mossy meadow. Are you guys close enough? I'm going to move this a little closer. I'm going to move all this. Okay, is that a little bit better? I hope. And then what I did is I went in and I just did the part that's under the snow. So just kind of look at it and decide, you know, what looks like tree, what looks like snow to you. And it looks like you can see the lines that that's tree. At least that's what I'm going with. Looks like the snow is on top. All right. And everything else is bare trees. All right, so that's really it for the picture. I'm going to add just a little more of the brown down here on these rocks. All right, and I'm good with that. So we are going to die cut this out. All right, and then I always use a piece of my tape. My removable tape. Now, one of the other things that you're going to want to do is bring back the trees. Here's your little house. I'm going to save my tape there. Is I took the crumb cake and then I just kind of went over, not a lot, because that'll be like the snow, but just to add a little dimension. You're not going to see a lot. It's going to be behind here again. And then you got to kind of decide how far up you want it. So what you're going to do next is we're going to find our round circle. Where did my circle go? All right, I have, oh, here it is. All right, so then I took this and I took the pool party. No, it's just Scotch tape, Stephanie. It's just a Scotch tape removable. I have it on a tape dispenser. But it's great. I love it. Okay, so I just take a baby wipe and just kind of get a little bit of the pull play. And I just kind of go like that. That's it. You're not going to see the bottom. It's going to be covered up anyway. But especially on the shimmery, it works really good. You don't want to get it too wet. So you saw how quickly I do it, just so it kind of gets the color in the background. So now we're going to start layering these up in your deal here. Okay. Then what I did is I'm going to take a piece of the wood background, and as I've told you before, I love taking this, the DSP. I started cutting it up and putting it in the wood boxes like this. So now I just want to find I like this wood right here, the one that looks the most rustic, this one here. I really like that look. So I'm going to take that one out. Now mine are already measured 4 by 6 because I cut them up. So I don't mind the 2 white strips down the side. Okay, so I didn't mind that at all. So I just went ahead and just trimmed off the bottom and used this for the front. But we're going to do this a little different. Now what I did on this one is I put my whole globe together and then I just adhered it to the front of here. And I kept thinking how weird that the circle doesn't match up with the globe completely. And I'm going to show you what I mean. But let me trim this down to 5.5 because it's 6. And I'm going to do this way. All right. Is it too close for you guys, or do you want me to move back a little bit? Just let me know. All right, so we've got this now. And it is going to adhere on the front, but I think what I'm going to do, and it's a little long and it's okay because I like to be able to make sure it's exact. So I always cut it just a tad longer. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take this die and we're going to adhere it from the back of this paper. And I should have done that to this one, but to me it was like, well, they went ahead and put this circle around it, so they had to have put it on top, but I think what they did is just made it a finished look. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this. I'm going to cut out the bottom of my die. I'm going to move out just a bit because I want to make sure now that we're not doing such close work that you see everything, because I tend to move off camera sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to cut these 2 out right now with shimmer, and let's see, I had another piece of shimmer right here. And it just, like I said, you probably can't see it. It just looks so pretty in person. So I'm just going to do both of these in shimmer. I'm going to take my removable adhesive and just put it on there again. I don't want them moving around. And cut those out. thank you everybody for joining me today, and really trying to get on my schedule here and do them on Tuesdays and Sundays. And it's been a lot of fun. It's really challenging me to get other projects that I've been thinking about doing, and a lot of times I'm like, oh, I always wanted to use that set, and then the catalog's over or new things come out. Like I said, the holiday one's going to be coming out. If you do not have a demonstrator and you would like to get I'm going to run this one through one more time. For some reason I want it to just fall out. And you need a catalog, a holiday catalog. Please let me know, and I'll make sure you are on my list to get that. Can you believe the holiday catalog next week already, or next month already? For the demonstrators, and then we're going to be getting our mailing letter and their mailing list together, and for you guys to get yours. So like I said, I did not want this die to pass by without getting use, because I think this is just so cute. All right, so this is the bottom. So you can use that pretty stamp that they have, or you can use the die. And I think the white on the white is just so pretty. I think it would be really pretty in gold too, but I really like the subtleness of this card. So I am going to keep it the same because I really liked the colors and everything about it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I'm not using the fine tip. I don't have it right here next to me, so I'm just going to put this on. On Sunday, I've had a lot of people ask me to do the gorgeous Posies card. So I'm going to do that on Sunday. A lot of people were asking me how I did it. So I'll show you. That'll be this card here. So I'll do this card on Sunday. A lot of people were asking about different things about it. So I'll share how I did this one on Sunday. So that'll be again on live on YouTube. All right, so we have this one all done. So this is going to go on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a dome, and I'm going to put this over like this, and then I'm going to adhere this on here. Now, one of the secrets I found out that when I did this one is I wanted to see this right here. So I moved this down really close to the bottom like this, so that I could put this over here and be able to see the image and this really pretty base. So make sure when you do that, I'm going to use tear and tape. Just a little bit tear and tape. If you guys don't have this, it's amazing. I'm going to just put it right across. I'm going to put it on the bottom of this, on the top of here. That way, if I want to, I can just put it where I want. And I'm just going to put it, because you're going to tack this, oops, you're going to tack this down with foam squares. So just kind of get an idea where you want it. And so I'm just going to set this here, get an idea. I want the bow to have a lot of space at the top. So now I'm going to put this, okay, let's do that again. I want this down here. So I'm just going to kind of lay it down, kind of figure out where I want it, and that's fine right there. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to put my tape back on, and I'm going to run this through and cut it. Make sure you leave room for your bow at the top. And we're making a big triple bow with 2 threads, so I'll show you guys how to do that too. It's a lot of fun. The noise outside is cracking me up. I'm surprised my dog is sleeping right through it. Okay, so now we have our base. So make sure you do not adhere this until you put your dome on. So let's put our dome on. We're going to take the adhesive off the top part, not the bottom part yet. All right, we're going to put that. Now this is different than I did it, so we're going to just assume it's going to be perfect. Now this stuff is super sticky. It's like the tear and tape. It's super strong. So just take your bone folder and just kind of slide it around. Make sure it adheres nice and tight. Now this looks really nice, you guys, because look what we can do now. We can just lay this right on there, and that looks a lot better. The problem I had, and I'm going to show you why, when I did it the other way, I had issues. So you take one of these domes, and these domes are just like the jar from the jar of flowers. And same thing, they have the adhesive on both. But see, when you put this on, see all this extra that you have right here of the dome that sticks out from the circle? I had to trim that. So now I don't have to. Now I can just lay this over here, which I'm sure that's what they did on the card on the in the catalog. But that's why I did the card last night, to make sure I knew what I was doing. So this looks so much better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to glue this down, because we want it nice and flat on the base. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to be popping up, including the dome part, so we don't really need this popped up, right? All right, so we're just going to slide it right along, slide it down. Again, I would use your bone folder just to kind of make sure everything's there. And yes, we moved that down for a reason, right? We didn't put it right up against it, because you could just go right up against it if we were not putting our label there. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. Now let's just pretend that these are layered. You can see your trees in the background. You can offset them a little like that. Let's take a look. Okay, that looks good. But I want that down just a little bit. So I'm going to add a dimensionals, because I want it all dimensioned inside. So let me grab those. I just love these new little tiny dimensionals too. I use both of them, big and little. All right, so we're going to put the big ones. You're not going to see the bottom anyway, so if they stick out a little bit, it's okay. But I also put them behind the trees. I don't want the trees to fall back against this. I want them to pop up. So I pop everything. I layer it all up. And I'm going to put a small one. Okay, I'm going to move up a little bit. I'm going to put a small one on this one. Okay. So I'm going to take these off and adhere the very back. And remember, you want it up a little bit. So I'm just going to go kind of to the top of that grassy area there. And I'm moving this one a little, let's see. Yeah, a little to the left, because I'm going to put the house more like right here, the little cabin. Okay, and you're going to pop the cabin up too. We're popping it all up. Pop, pop, pop. Are you guys ready to make Christmas cards? Can you believe I'm making Christmas cards right now? I told my husband last night, and he's like, Christmas? I'm like, yep. Yep, I want to make this card. And if I wait I'm going to get the other catalog, and I'm going to be like a kid in a candy store, and I'm not going to get my card made. All right, so I'm going to put this on like here. Let's see. We want it sideways. Oops. And I don't mind seeing that hill of grass right there. So let's just lightly lay it. Kind of make sure that's where you want it. And I'm good with that. So I'm going to put that down. Now, one of the things I didn't do, right, Mandy? I told myself every year, I'm going to do one Christmas card a month, and that doesn't happen. Okay, I'm going to add Wink Estella. I did not do it on my other one, and when I was done, I was like, oh, I was so sad I didn't, because why wouldn't you? So I'm just lightly putting it where everything looks to be snow. So don't forget your tree right here. Even though I'm going to be adding some sparkles in there, I want to make sure. And then the whites up here, ooh, guess not. Be careful, because that is, your tree is going to just kind of, my green is starting to turn because it's water based. You know how that is. So forget that. I'm not doing that. But we're going to add a lot of sparkles, but I will do it back here. I'm not worried about back here. A little there. And you could even like add it in your trees right here. But for some reason that ink back there is just wants to go. So we don't want that. All right. So now we're going to add our dazzling diamonds, or whatever sparkle you have. Let me pull mine out here. So I'm going to add just a little bit of right on the top here. You've got a dome that's plenty big enough. So I'm going to add that there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off the back of here. All right. And we are going to place it. I'm going to pull it towards me a little bit so I can see. Make sure I'm getting it right where I want it. That's the hard part is, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm doing it a little bit different this time, so than I did yesterday. I'm going to put my sparkles in there and make sure, now that I have sparkles on my glue here, I'm not too worried about it because it's going to all glue down to the base. But I want to lightly drop it, and I'm going to look at it in the sky because I'm afraid, ooh, see, this is different than what I did last night, so I'm a little worried. Okay, that's the bottom and that's the top. So I'm going to put my fingers bottom and top, and I'm just going to turn it over like this, drop it so that it's on the glue, and it is. I'm going to lift it up, make sure it needs to go up a little bit, and you can tell because it's hitting right here on the bottom. All right, I think that's where it's gonna go. Yep, I'm fine with that because we're going to be adding our sentiment anyway. All right. All right, so now I'm going to adhere it all the way around. And this is super sticky, you guys. All right, now I'm going to bring my base in. And I'm going to glue it up. You guys, this tree in our backyard is so huge. And they said they can be in and out in an hour. They have like 20 minutes. We'll see. But it got really quiet all of a sudden. So I'm kind of anxious to see what they've got done. My husband's like, there is no way. Guy goes, oh yeah, we'll be done in an hour. So we'll see. All right, I'm going to just center it. Remember, I have a little bit of white on each side because of my paper. I like to cut it 4 to 6. and it's aligned at the top. I already know I'm going to have to trim it on the bottom. All right, so there's that. Let me put my die away so I don't lose it. So now the bow, we're getting there, and the sentiment. The sentiment is, I take my paper, which is 4 1/4, and I've already started cutting here, so that's why it looks like that. I'm going to take my sentiment and stamp it there. Let me put my house away so I don't lose it. All right. This is the full stamp set, you guys, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Oh, this one is another stamp set that's available in the catalog, you guys, and it also goes with the same dies. So that set goes with the globe dies that are here. And here is a picture of those. How cute are those little guys? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm taking early espresso. And I go as close to the top, that's not super close, but close. Because that way you're only cutting one side for your banner, okay? So I'll show you how I do that. All right. So I'm going to bring my trimmer in. All right, let me move out just a bit more here. All right. So what I do is I close my trimmer, and right where, let me see where my thing is. Right where this edge is, that you can see that's in the middle where you would score, I just make sure your words are slightly to the right. And then that just gives you just enough space, okay? So that just gives you enough. So as long as your words are past this plastic that's on the right side or left, depends on how you cut, your stamped image is just, you're just going to give yourself a little bit of space. Now what I do from here is get rid of the cut. I do the same thing. I close it. I make sure that the words are just past this side now, because the words are over here, and I score it. All right, so there's my score. Gives you just enough past your words. All right, and then I go 1/4 of an inch. I put your score line on the first 1/4 of an inch, and then I score again. Okay, flip it over, do the same thing. Make sure your words are inside the plastic on the left, just barely, just fine. And then I move it over to the 1/4 of an inch, and I score again. So this is what it's going to look like. Oops, let me get it in camera here. Okay, so you have your 2 lines over here and your 2 lines over there. All right, so we're done with that. So now what I do is I burnish it. That's going to go backwards, and then this one's going to go, flip it over, and it's going to go backwards. So this one's going to go this way, and then this one is going to come forward that way. Make sense? So now you have your little banner, and all you have to do is I close it, so you just kind of know how much your tags, your little tails are, what you want. And they, to me, they do not have to be perfect. They're going to be little tags. And this one's a little longer, just the way I stamped it off a little bit, and that's okay. Just cut them a little shorter. Okay, so there's your banner. And so what I did next with the banner is I, of course, had to add a little bit of bling to it. So I just went over over the words, just very lightly. You just want a little bit of sparkle, not a lot. You definitely don't want to saturate your paper. Don't forget your I and your T. And then I just do the top. Does not have to be perfect. No one's going to look. They're just going to see that there's sparkle. And it's easier to see in person than on camera, I'm sure. But it is a sparkle and it's really pretty. Okay, so set that aside to dry. And now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the bow. And the bow, oh my gosh, you guys, this ribbon, let me look here, is the Pull Party sheer ribbon right here. And it is, who has this? It is so pretty. The Pull Party is such a pretty color to begin with. All right, so this is how you're going to do the bow. You're also going to use the linen thread. All right, you're going to move all this out of the way. You need your scissors. For those of you that just joined, they're grinding and tearing a tree down in my backyard. So that's what that noise is. It's getting loud again. All right, so you're going to take, I'm doing 2 at a time. If you can only do one, do one. And you can always add your twine just on the top later. But I decided, where did my card go? I decided to do the double bow there with the linen because I just think it looks rustic with the background, and I just really like how that came out. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So you're going to take your bow. Grab your bows, you guys. This is a great way to do a bow. You're going to hold it between your middle and your thumb. And this is going to gauge your size of your bow. I didn't want it super big, so just kind of, and I twisted it because I had the twine on it. And I kind of wanted to make sure the twine kind of stayed on top. So 1, 2, we're doing a figure 8, 3. Okay, make sure you end up on this side towards you. So that's 3 times, okay? So I'll do it again. So make sure you have your, I want my twine on top. I want my, this is pretty much how long you want your tail. So that's how much extra you're going to leave there. All right, so I want them about like that. You're going to hold this down a little bit because you need this finger. Look, I have ink all over me. You need this part of your finger, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 times. Now you're going to hang that down, and you want enough to hang at the bottom of your bow, but also tie your knot. So I just leave about that much. You don't need a whole lot, but you need enough. Oh. Okay. Now you take this last part. You're going to go all back under and over everything. Okay. You're going to put it through. It's a little harder with 2, you guys, so you might want to start with 1. You loosen it up a little bit because you have to come over and back through. Okay, so here's your last tail. You're going to go all the way over and through, and then grab them both, and then loosen it up so that when you come back up, this is why you need a little extra to make sure you can do it, then you poke it all the way through, just like you're tying a knot, except it's hard with 2, and there you go. So pull them through, and then your tail is up here, your original tail, so pull this one up here too, towards you, okay? And then you slide it off, and then you fluff up your bow however you want it. And you can pull the twine out towards the front. It's going to tuck in, so don't worry. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I try to put it on the top, but if it doesn't come on the top, it's really not a big deal. So those 3 are out, and that one's going to flip up, and I'm perfectly happy with that. This bow is just so pretty. All right, y'all experts now. Got it? All right. So just kind of finagle it how you want it. All right, so now I'm going to take my card. I'm going to add glue dots as soon as I find them. Here we go. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. I just really enjoy creating things and sharing, and that's how I learned. I learned on how to, you know, do things by watching other videos and people, and I've been stamping for a really, really long time, but I was with Stampin' Up! For several years. I was a customer for a long time first. Well, I was a customer with a lot of other companies way back in the early 90s. And then I had kids, so I didn't craft quite as much. Then I started again. I was with Stampin' Up! And then went and did my own thing and did affiliates and stuff for a while, and then I decided I wanted to go back to Stampin' Up! So here I am. All right, so what I did with this, you guys, is I'm going to add the glue here, and you can always add glue dots, but for now I just kind of want to get it on there. So see, you want it kind of down so you can see your house, but you don't need to see the whole thing. And just kind of get it to set there. And now, if you guys haven't seen these gorgeous things, let me pull them out here. These are the elegant faceted gems. And look how pretty these are. Let me see if I can find something. All right, this is the inside of the card. Look at those. So you've got the white, and they all have the, like the hash, like the faceted, all the markings on them, so they really glimmer. These are kind of a pale, cloudy, pale pink. And then these are like an iridescent. And so these are the ones I'm going to use, is the iridescent ones. And I'm going to copy what I did over here because I just love them. So I'm going to do a big one here and a small one, like right there. And then another small one up here. So there we go. There is the card. I have to say, I'm glad I did this one yesterday and then realized, because this is nice and flat against the paper, I would definitely do it the way I did it today and pull it through the back side of the paper. Now, in the book, they had a string on the top that looked like an ornament that was just laying down on a piece of wood, but I didn't want that. I wanted a bigger bow. A bigger fluffy bow. Let me pull the book out again. Well, here you can see right here. This is the one in the book. Oh no, I didn't take a picture there, so I'm going to have to show you the catalog. So this is the one in the book here. And they did a bow across the whole card and through the back side of the card. Actually, you know, this looks like they did it on a paper pumpkin box. That's what it looks like they did, which is a really cute idea for a gift. So I bet you that is an ornament that they just laid there so that somebody could use that and maybe just tacked it down and have that as a gift, which is a great idea because that is super cute, because you can put the solid white on the back here and the solid circle on the back and make that into an ornament. But I just really liked it as a card. I just thought it was really cute as a card. Oops, let's not forget our inside, which I just had in my hand to show you guys. Oh, here they are. It is right here. So don't forget that. Now, on the inside image, I like Merry Christmas myself. So yes, I put season greeting on these. But there is a set that has a beautiful Merry Christmas on it that I'm going to get. So anyway, I hope you guys liked the card. I would love it. A couple of business things. If you could share my my video, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow an audience and share and all that fun stuff. And subscribe. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And you could also hit the notification bell and it will notify you when I am live or when I've posted. That would be awesome. And on my blog, it's listed below, marcybessaker.com. I also post a lot of my projects there with more detail, and usually if I do a video on it, it will be included on my blog. I'll list it on my blog too, so the video will be there. Now know that when you get an email with the blog notification that I posted, the YouTube videos do not show up in the email. Just click the link and it'll take you to my blog and you can see all the videos and stuff there. So if you did not see it live and you want to see the video, make sure you're on the blog and you can see it there. The other thing, again, my schedule for YouTube is Tuesdays and Sundays. Tuesdays at 2, Sundays at noon Pacific time. I do try to jump on, like I did Sunday. I did another video on my Facebook, which is Marcy Bessaker Designs. And there I will randomly just jump on and do stuff. But I do post a lot there, reminding you I'm coming on here, specials, different things that I have going on, and just stuff that Stampin' Up! It has going on too. So specials for that. So again, my Facebook, my blog, and YouTube. I'd love it if you guys would subscribe and like. That would be fantastic. One other thing, I did use the larger grid sheets today, but I just wanted to share this because somebody was asking me about them. And the smaller grid paper, which I always have right here, so I must have moved it, of course, is fantastic. The small grid paper, now I wish I knew oh, here it is. Yeah, I knew I have it here. These, people ask me about these all the time. These are a small grid paper. The large ones are great. I love, though, that you have your measurings right there. Well, here, let me flip you this way. Your measuring is already right here. So when you're trying to measure something and you're deciding, you know, like what's the size of this or whatever, however long it is, it's right there ready to go. And you can... Oh, I don't even have to cut that. That's good. And you can ink these up and just toss them and go. Thank you, Sharon. Thanks for coming by. And anyway, these are awesome. You can also put them in your Stamparatus. They're really awesome. There is a pad in there, but if you don't need the pad and you're using polymer, then just throw one of these in there and you don't get ink all over it. And I just like it because you can measure everything right there. You don't have to pull out your trimmer to measure or whatever. So those are really nice. I get a lot of people that ask about that. So did you guys have any questions? Anything else that you're wondering? Like, did I miss a step that you didn't see? Or if so, just let me know. Message me. Again, if you need a catalog, the holiday catalogs are coming. If you need a catalog, just let me know and I will get one to you. I'll get you on my mailing list. And I appreciate you guys. Down below is all the supplies. On my blog, on the right-hand side, there is the 2 current catalogs. One is the mini beginner one. So if you don't have it, it's not just for beginners, you guys. This is a perfect class type kits that are in here. And you can go through and it lists everything that you need. I mean, that is a cute, super cute set. And it's not in the catalog. There's a couple in here. This one, super cute, and not in the catalog. So, and I got this set because, well, not only are the fruits so cute, but you also got all of your little ink spots there, all the different colors. And there's a couple of sets that would work perfect for just having the ink spots instead of the big ink pads. So I thought that was really a great idea. But this is on there, and so is the annual catalog. Just click on them and you can see it's a PDF, page by page, look at everything. If you have any questions, let me know. On the right side, there's also a shop button. You can shop from there, from YouTube. You can shop also. It'll say shop with me. And on my Facebook, you can also shop on Marcy Besker Designs. So I'd appreciate any support. I thank you so much for coming by and watching the video. And I will see you on Sunday, if not sooner. Thanks.